No offense to Jamaican people, but the culture is nuts, and let me break it down. The men, yeah, they were erratic, dancing, humping girls aggressively, dashing them everywhere, cussing out everyone cool. And the females, all they do is twerk up their ass and be hoes. I'm not racist, I've got black friends, please.
Hello everyone. Now, in the last few months, we've been seeing people flocking to Jamaica. Arabs, Chinese, Indians, Africans, the white people. Now, what's so unique about this island in the Caribbean? So, help me to dive into this video as we see the unique reasons why people are leaving their own countries and cultures to go and live in Jamaica and to experience the uniqueness of this Caribbean island. Thank you so much.
5 cultural shocks I suffered when I moved to Jamaica from Cuba. Hi, my name is Flor. I am Cuban and I live in Jamaica for 21 years now. And up to this day, me not stop for shock over them 5 cultural things here. Number 1, food for breakfast. Me say, come morning time, me could not believe me. I see where I come from, Cuba. Breakfast time is barely a little sip of coffee if you're lucky. If you are a little bit more privileged, you may have some cow's milk and maybe a little bread. Member say it's 21 years since me left, but this is what me remember about the Cuba I left behind. You see, when you reach a Jamaica now, me say boiled dumpling, me say liver, me say kidney, me say ackee and saltfish with dumpling and food, me say rice and peas and all that dinner and morning time. Up to this day, me not exaggerate, me not tell no lie. Me can't get over the fact that Jamaicans have a whole meal for breakfast. Number 2, manners and respect. Me don't know what was it about the Cuba me left behind, but we never did practice manners and respect. My grandmother always did tell me that manners and respect in Cuba died in 1959. You see, if you buck up on somebody, you just buck up on somebody and move. You say if it's morning time, you just wake up and move. You say if it's evening time, you just walk through and move. But you see, in a Jamaica now, you better practice your manners and respect. You have to say good morning. You have to say good evening. You have to say good night. If it's a night time and you know I go asleep, you still have to say good night. If you buck up on somebody, you have to say sorry. You have to say sorry. You have to say sorry. You better say sorry. Boy, me wish Cuba will take up back manners and respect. Number 3, eating out. You see the Cuba I left behind, going to a restaurant? That was not in my vocabulary. The liquor restaurant that did exist were owned by the government, and let me tell you, you don't want to name that food there. Eating out for my family was almost like a taboo because we were so afraid that we will get sick. So every time we will travel to another province for health reasons, for whatever reason we will be, we carry our own food, we carry our own liquor bottle with juice and them thing there fi eat, and you will not eat out because you don't know where them process them food, you don't know what did they in that food, and there was no guarantee that you will find food around. But you see Jamaica now, you just go a restaurant, you don't need no special occasion, restaurant just dead. You have fast food restaurant, you have regular restaurant, you have cook shop, you have people that sell a roadside pan chicken and them thing there. A different culture this. Number 4, helper. I mean, no say everybody in Jamaica don't have no helper, but these are the 5 biggest cultural shocks I suffered as a Cuban moving to Jamaica. If you're new here, hi, my name is Flor. I am Cuban and I've been living in Jamaica for 21 years, and me still remember them 5 shockers here like it's today. Number 1, throwing the toilet paper in the toilet. Cuba is a very different place right now, but back in my days, you couldn't do that. First of all, we didn't even add toilet paper. We did use newspaper, and then you have the little basket beside the toilet, and then you would have put the paper in there. So me did put the toilet paper in the basket, and my mother-in-law had by mistake couple times. Number 2, meat. When I went to Jamaica, I went to live with my mother-in-law, and she did have a helper. So the helper would have cook And the first time I see the helper cooking, I swear I said they might keep a welcome party for me. And I was like, oh my God, it looked like I missed the notice that they're keeping a welcome party. And then when dinner time come, miss everybody, I share them plate. And I'm like, no party, no, I keep again. And I asked my husband and I said, you know, I keep party or something. He said, no, why you are asking? I said, but me I see a pot full of meat in the stove. Like, what is that? And he said, no, that is how we cook here. I'm like, excuse me? You see, in my Cuba, the one that I was coming from, we cook a little tiny piece of meat and it's counted per person. Let's use an example of a chicken very quick. My family will slaughter a chicken at home. We take part of the chicken to make soup. That will be the 2 foot, the neck, and the intestines. The soup will be one meal. Another meal will be the leg and thigh them. And another meal will be the breast and the chicken back. 3 meals, 3 different meals out of one chicken. Me never adjust to them abundance them there. I was shocked. Number 3, it was the lack of public display of love. You see, in Cuba, people are kiss, people are hug, people are make out, people are fill up one another in a public. People sometimes even in a public. And most time did I have to find myself holding back when I was in public with my husband. And every time, like if I kissed him or anything, I just felt like everybody was like, what are you doing? Get a room. You know, it was very uncomfortable. And 21 years later, after practicing that, I have found after visiting Colombia and Brazil, which are places where people do that, just like in Cuba, I feel like, boy, me really miss out in hug and kisses. Number 4, Jamaicans bathe a morning time. In Cuba, nobody no do that. I am not saying it's because we are nasty people, but because we don't really have the resources. We don't have the water. We don't have soap. We bathe 2 times for the day. So in a Cuba, it's normal for a man to wake up a morning time, wash his face, and a woman wake up a morning time and she wash her face and she wash her and go about them business. Number 5, and this was one of the biggest adjustments I had to make. It was wearing a brassiere and just changing my general way of dressing. Jamaicans' way of dressing, Jamaicans' style is impeccable. I have been to many different countries and I have never seen anybody who dresses as well as a Jamaican does. And I am so glad and thankful that I adopted that type of that part of the culture, because my IG name is Flor Cubana, that style, thanks to Jamaica. I literally went to Jamaica without a brassiere. I never did wear one to begin with. One of the first type of shopping that my mother-in-law took me to was to buy underwear. She's like, do you want to go shopping? I said, I couldn't even say yes. And she's like,
the nationality is there too, you know, because I agree with you, you can't necessarily call him full Jamaican, but when you look on that, the culture imprint.
But I still think the guy you talking about, I still think you could call him Jamaican. Because he grew up in Jamaica, he influenced by the culture. He's Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about somebody would say like, oh, one of my parents is from Jamaica and one of them is
from Europe.
From Europe, so I'm half Jamaican. It's like you're not half Jamaican. Jamaican is a nationality.
Now, we know that Jamaica is as a result of European plus Africa interaction. That's why we have the Jamaicans. Now, when I'm talking about the European, I actually mean the Island Republic and the UK interactions with Jamaicans. That's why we have a very unique culture, a culture that maybe is centered around African people and the white people. Now, we have been seeing people flocking to Jamaica, not only black people, but white and Arabs too. We've seen red Indians also going to Jamaica, Chinese going to Jamaica. What's that unique thing about Jamaica? And why do you think most people are running to Jamaica? Despite it just being a small island in the Caribbean and well known, Jamaica is hosting so many people from all the races. Now, from my own perspective, Jamaica is one of the most popular countries in the world. Despite it being a small island in the Caribbean, it is one of the most popular. Now, there are so many things that are attracting people to Jamaica, and people are trying to copy the Jamaican culture. Okay, talking about Arabs. Arabs are moving to Jamaica because of so many various reasons. But apart from that, let me talk about my fellow countrymen and my fellow people from Africa. People from Africa are moving to the Caribbean. We've seen influencers and many people, actually, they do go there for vacations and all that. Others want to live there. What's so good or what's so unique about this island? Now, I'm gonna talk about Jamaica in three phases. Now, one, it is the bond that Jamaica has with African people, the black people. Now, growing up, I've known reggae music, one of the best music that I know, the genre of music that I know and I do listen to. It's because of the information. It's so informative, by the way. It's not just like any other music that we hear, maybe pop, R&B and all this other music. It is one of the best musics in the world because it has liberated countries. Now, remember, reggae music has played a bigger role in making sure South Africa has independence. Now, you all know a guy called Lucky Dube. Now, go trace back when Lucky Dube used to sing in 1991 and 1989. He used to sing about freedom songs. He used to express how the people of South Africa have been mistreated and how the white man came to South Africa, took everything. Then South Africans are going through a lot. How they have failed to build schools but built so many prisons. Now, that's the kind of information reggae music has always carried. And this guy, one Lucky Dube, was influenced by the greatest Bob Marley from Jamaica. Now, this only shows how influential Jamaica has been on the world stage. Now, that was the first phase. Now, let's talk about the second phase, the Jamaican-European bond. And we know one of the accents that is popular in Jamaica, and we all know it. Now, Jamaican accent has been used and copied around the world. The word like bomboclat and all that, these are phrases that people have copied from Jamaica. Now, the Jamaican and Island Republic relationship has led to a very unique language. I mean, the accent, how people speak some words, how they utter them out. So this has actually attracted people to this country, and people want to know what is so unique about Jamaica and why are so many people moving to Jamaica. Just 2 months ago, we saw the US embassy trying to lift a ban and maybe saying that Jamaica is very dangerous, together with the Bahamas, that the people of US should not be traveling to Jamaica because of the insecurity reasons and all that other things that they tried to mention and list. But we saw a lot of weird reactions from white people from the US and black Americans, because they were saying, however much you want us not to go there, other people are going there. This means we are still going to Jamaica. Now, this actually shows you the love the people have for Jamaica. And Jamaica has always had a good relationship with so many other countries. Now, go look at how Jamaica has been relating with China, India, and UK, Northern Ireland. You are going to realize that there are cordial relationships, which is making people so comfortable to be in Jamaica. However much the international system may want to tarnish the name of Jamaica and try maybe to name it as a dangerous country, people won't listen. People will still go to Jamaica because they know the Jamaican people are the best on hosting visitors and all those people coming from other sides. These people have actually carried the African culture to the other side of the world, where in Africa we do believe that we should be so humble, and we should have the hospitality that is needed while we accord other people the respect they accord us. Now, this has actually made Jamaica one of the most outstanding, and I won't be shocked to see so many Arabs and so many other people flocking to Jamaica. But one thing we still want to advocate for is the respect these people should be giving to Jamaicans. You shouldn't go to Jamaica and start maybe misbehaving or coming up with so many weird manners, weird behaviors, which suggest disrespect to the people of Jamaica. It doesn't mean that when Jamaicans are so welcoming and they are so good, humble, and you should take them to advantage. No, actually, I once shared a video of how Jamaicans react when you try crossing and when you try taking advantage of them or maybe showing them disrespect. Now, that was phase 2. Now, talking about the third phase is the relationship between Jamaica and the world stage. How Jamaica has always managed to enthrone the whole world. It has always entertained the world, and that's why we get the attraction. Now, I'm talking about Usain Bolt. You all know about Usain Bolt, one of the greatest athletes in the world and one of the best to ever grace the world of Olympics. Now, not just Usain Bolt, we have so many other superstars from music, from soccer, and other things that Jamaicans do. Now, Jamaicans have always influenced the world. Look at Bob Marley. His influence still lives. His legacy still lives years after dying. Now, look at so many reggae musicians, now dancehall musicians. Now, the last time I checked my country, people listen to Vibes Cartel, people listen to Glenn Washington and all these other musicians more than they listen to our local artists. This shows you a lot. We are thousands of distance miles away from Jamaica, but why does Jamaican music still have a bigger influence in Africa and in the whole world? It is because of the message it comes with. Now, it just don't talk about maybe ladies or good men, or it talks about the social injustices. It talks about how people should live in the society and how people should actually embrace respect and unity. You remember there is this song, Peace, Love, and Unity. Now, Bob Marley talked about so many things. Now, Marcus Garvey talked about so many things. These are kind of things that attract people to Jamaica. And actually, Jamaica as a country has always stood out in the world stage because of its unique culture. Now, talk about religion. How much their religion, they are spiritual. Go to Jamaica. Everyone is spiritual. Even small children, they are spiritual. Now, this actually talks a lot. Now, talk about their food, how their food is unique. Who doesn't want to taste Jamaican dishes? The last time I checked in my country, there are so many Jamaican restaurants that prepare Jamaican dishes. Although Jamaica is miles away from Kenya, but we still want to embrace their food. We still want to taste it, and we still want to live like Jamaicans. However much, come to Africa, check how many youths have been influenced by Jamaica. Now, they talk the Gaza thing and all that. Now, in Kenya and in so many other countries in Africa, you'll always get ghettos where they have named them Gaza and all that. This just shows how much influence Jamaica has to the world, and that's why so many people are copying Jamaican culture. However much this country is small, it has influenced the whole world. And if you come from Jamaica, you are so much privileged. My brother and sister, you are so much privileged because it is so rare. How many countries are in the Caribbean? But however, when you talk about the Caribbean, people only think about Jamaica. That's the first thing people talk about, Jamaica. I even thought when I was growing up, Jamaica is in Africa because how much it is being talked about, how much music I used to listen that was from Jamaica, and people dressing, having the Jamaican color on their clothes, on garments, I mean. It shows how much love people have for Jamaica, and how this country has come out maybe to influence the whole world. So there are so many people that there are so many things that I can talk about Jamaica, but as of today, I just want to tell you, anyone who wants to go to Jamaica, that country is good. Despite whatever you want, people have been talking about, and the world stage is trying to paint, because when something is good, even Jesus Christ, if you believe in the Bible and you know something about the Bible, said a good tree that bears fruit always get more stones. It is always hit with stones, unlike a tree that has no fruits, because no one is interested in that tree. So thank you so much for having taken your time to watch this video. I really appreciate, brothers and sisters. One love from Africa.